Hello everybody and welcome back to more of the 2012 Manitoba Math Contest. We're looking now at question number 2. So 2A, find the number halfway between 2/5 and 5/8. Okay? So this is a prime example of their statement that numerical answers by themselves without explanation will not receive full credit. We're going to need to do some calculations, show them our work. So we're just going to average the two. Halfway between them is average. We're going to explain that, and we're going to calculate that. That's all we have to do. So we're going to get ourselves a brand new piece of paper. There we go. So we want halfway between what? 2/5 and 5/8. So halfway between 2/5 and 5/8 is the same as their average. Okay, so what do we do to calculate average? We add up all the numbers involved and divide by how many numbers there were. Okay, well, we've only got two numbers, so this isn't that bad. To add up fractions, however, we're going to need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 8. And over here, multiply top and bottom by 5. That's the fastest way to get a common denominator. Is it the smallest common denominator? It may or may not be, but this always gets a common denominator. In fact, it is because these numbers have a GCD of 1. So we'll get 16 over 40 plus 25 over 40, all divided by 2. Okay. 16 plus 25, that's 41. 41 out of 40, all divided by 2. That's going to be 41 out of 80. Okay, so that's sort of just over a half, and that makes sense, at least a little bit. 2/5 is just less than 2.5 out of 5, which would be a half, and 5/8 is 1/8 more than 4/8, which would be a half. So yeah, this makes sense as a final answer. So I'd box it, or if you're one of the people who really takes the numerical answers on their own, doesn't count, give a little therefore statement. Halfway between is going to be 41 over 80, something like that. Okay. Question A is probably not where we're getting the marks. Let's take a look at B. Question B here. All right, what single percentage increase is equivalent to a series of 2 increases of 10%? Okay. So, this one isn't that bad, as one would expect. It's still just question 2. What do we want to say here? So I'll explain this by increasing by, let's say, n% is the same as multiplying by 1 plus n% out of 100%. Okay? But really that's the same as 1 plus n out of 100. So increasing by 10% is multiplying by 1 plus 10 out of 100, or 1.1. Increasing by 10% twice is the same as multiplying by 1.1 twice. Or another way of multiplying by the same number twice is by multiplying by its square, which is 1.21. But of course, this should be 1 plus n% out of 100%, So n% out of 100%, that's going to be the same as 0.21. We multiply by 100 on both sides, we get 21. So it is the same as increasing by 21%. Okay. So for this question, at least for B part, we had to make the connection between increasing by percent, which is sort of it's a wordy explanation of what's going on. It's not really mathematical. Yes, I understand percents are mathematical, but increasing by n% is sort of like 70% off, something you would see in the store, something that is explaining to a person with words. Whereas you'll never see in a store that it's multiplied by 0.3 if it's 70% off. You won't see that. You might see the calculation done for you, but you won't see that. So we took the wordy explanation, increase by some percent, and we turned it into math. And math we can manipulate. Math, you got 1.1, you square it, then you say, 1.21, we translate it back. And that was what we needed to do for 2B here. But overall, nice question. We'll look forward to question number 3 in the next video. If you haven't given it a shot, I encourage you to do so. And of course, you can download a copy of the contest, and whatever you end up doing, I'll see you for the next video. So long.